Members of Parliament, Minister of Justice does not cause traffic accidents. Court sentences man to 12 years for fatal Zozo Moran drive shooting. DCOM Special Rank Promotion Ceremony, St. Martin Youth Brigade, 2026. Special tribute for the Mighty Sparrow's 91st birthday. From the island of St. Martin, this is SxXM Daily News for July 8th, 2026. MPs posting a question to the Minister of Justice do not cause traffic accidents. The Minister of Justice is also part of the solution, and we are asking her here today to hear exactly what her plan is, what plan she has for the country, because many young people here in this country are losing their lives due to our reckless writing. Due to just maneuvering on the road, on these bikes, there are also reckless drivers. That's the executive, the execution branch that needs to execute the laws here in this country.
The Minister of Justice does not cause traffic accidents. The Minister of Justice is also part of the solution. And we are asking her here today, Madam Chair, in order to hear exactly what is her plan. What plan she has for the country, because many young people here in this country are losing their lives due to either reckless riding, due to just maneuvering on the road in these bikes. There are reckless drivers as well, Madam Chair. That's the execution branch that needs to execute the laws here in this country. We need to know, Madam Chair, what is going on with the personnel, what is going on with road safety, what is the plan? Madam Chair, over the course of weeks, we have lost many lives on the Dutch side, on the French side, due to traffic accidents. This Minister of Justice, Madam Chair, is seldomly in this House, and I think it is time that we sit here and caucus and come with some type of solution on how we're going to move this country forward. I can say this, Madam Chair, in the past, even when we as individuals, as parliamentarians sitting on the opposite bench, when you reach out to ministers, it takes a long time for you to get an answer. When you reach out to the ministers just to sit down and have a conversation with them based on the grave matters in this country, we do not get that opportunity to sit with them. Today, Madam Chair, I have to use my power as parliamentarian to request for urgent meeting because, as you can see, our families inside are here. Because certain decisions were made that some may agree with and some may not agree with. And therefore, it is my job and my duty to hold the Minister of Justice accountable, to have oversight on the Ministry of Justice, to see how we are going to move this country forward in a safe and productive manner. Other generating matters, Madam Chair, has to do with the other justice-related matters. I did understand through our secretariat that my question was very broad, and indeed, yes, it was broad, because there's a lot of pending issues other than accidents that relates under the biggest ministry in this country. And I do understand that the minister is not a man, so I say sometimes you need to have cojones. You need to have the balls in order to lead this country. And as a Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice has to make decisions sometimes that are also unpopular. Whether department heads like it, whether the prosecutor's office like it, we need the firm hand of justice. And that mantle sits in the hand of this current minister. Thank you, Madam Chair.
On another important note, Madam Chair, through you to the Minister of Justice, I've been an advocate. I've been bringing up the fact that our officers, our frontline individuals do not have the right risk and accident insurance. We had an incident a couple of weeks ago where officers would fire that in the Coal Bay area. You know, I think we're always waiting for something to happen. So through you, Madam Chair, to the Minister, in my notification, I would like to get an update on the status of said accident and risk insurance for our frontline officers. Thank you for the opportunity.
Madam Chair, yesterday, actually, this was supposed to be my notification, and it really slipped me. On my way to the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning, dropping a friend, There's one car speeding, trying to overtake me, slip, had to pull back. By the time I reached the airport, it had at least 4 cars within a short span of 15 minutes overtaken 5 o'clock in the morning. And it only brought me to think about the situation that one of the reasons why we're here today. And I think that we really have to be more accountable as a people, right? There was also a person riding a bike. Sometimes I run early in the morning, and it's very disturbing, even fearful to even think about running. So I have to kind of plan my activities around days where maybe you don't have no club or being going out at night. So I'm asking the public, the general public, let's be a little bit more cautious. Let's be a little bit more concerned on the road. And we really don't have, if you're late already at 5 o'clock in the morning, then you might as well be 10 minutes extra late. There's no rush at that point in time. We live on an island. We have a little bit of an island culture. But we really need to be a little bit more accountable and responsible on the road. And I'm asking the general population if we could do that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Minister of Justice, at the table somewhere on this island. And before we talk about the numbers, or the departments, or the budgets, I want that to be the starting point of this meeting, because that is why we are here. Before we start the discussion and address the questions that have brought me here, I would also like to take a minute of this meeting to clarify that I never refused to appear in Parliament. Parliament's letter requesting my presence is dated June 24th, but it only reached my office last week, during a period when members of Parliament themselves were travelling and off-island. From the moment I received the request, my intention was clear: to appear before Parliament and to provide factual and complete information.
9 people have died on our roads this year. 9 people in 8 separate accidents. Every one of them left a family behind. Every one of them left an empty chair at a table somewhere on this island. And before we talk about the numbers, or the departments, or the budgets, I want that to be the starting point of this meeting, because that is why we are here. Before we start the discussion and address the questions that have brought me here, I would like to also take a minute of this meeting to clarify that I never refused to appear in Parliament. Parliament's letter requesting my presence is dated June 24th, but it only reached my office last week, during a period when members of Parliament themselves were traveling and off-island. From the moment I received the request, my intention was clear: to appear before Parliament and to provide factual and complete information. Because of that, I moved this meeting by just 1 day, from Monday to Tuesday, in order to prepare properly. 1 day. The requested 9 agenda points before us come from a service that is already stretched thin and is the same service that has answered a very large number of parliamentary questions from this chamber in recent months. I take this Parliament seriously, and I take this subject seriously. And it's exactly why I did not want to stand here with half an answer or half a story. Good answers take preparation, and Parliament deserves nothing less. So here I am today, 1 day later, but fully prepared. And with that clarification, we can focus on what actually matters. So let's start with the facts, because the discussion has to stay honest, and the honest picture is more complicated than the headline. The number of traffic accidents on St. Martin is not going up. It is going down. In 2024, the police registered 812 accidents up until week 27. In 2025, 719. This year, so far, 681 for the same period. That's 2 years of decline over the same measure. However, deaths are a different story. And I want to be precise rather than dramatic, because the number does not follow a clean line. It fluctuates hard from year to year. And in 2024, we lost 7 people in 6 accidents. In 2025, 4 in 4 accidents. This year, already 9, with half of the year ahead of us. So the honest headline is not that accidents are rising, accidents are falling. But the honest headline is that our accidents have become deadlier, and that a single bad year can undo several good ones. And that distinction matters because it also tells us where to look as a ministry. So let me tell you what actually happened, because these deaths are not 9 versions of the same story. The 4 fatal accidents in 2025 were these: In January, there were two. A scooter overtaking another struck it as the rider swerved to avoid a hole in the road, and an SUV hit a cyclist that was riding on the shoulder of the road. In April, a scooter rider knocked down and killed a pedestrian. In September, a scooter and a truck. 3 of the 4 victims were on 2 wheels. This year's 9 are these: a scooter rider who lost control, a pedestrian who, intoxicated, walked under a garbage truck, an SUV and a pickup where the driver suffered a heart attack behind the wheel, a scooter rider who crashed into a stationary bus, a car that hit into a guardrail where 2 of the passengers in the vehicle passed away, a scooter rider who did a wheelie into a car, a truck and a scooter with the scooter rider on the wrong side of the road, and a car and a motorcycle where a collision occurred during an overtaking maneuver. Look at that list honestly, and 2 things jump out. First, the vulnerability of scooter and motorcycle riders. 5 of this year's 9 deaths were on 2 wheels. While each incident must be considered on its own facts, several involved circumstances, such as a rider losing control, performing a wheelie, or traveling on the wrong side of the road. And in many of these, it was the rider's own conduct that was the cause of the accident. These are far too often the individuals who do not come home. And this is where our scooter and our helmet rules and the enforcement of those are aimed. Second, and I say this not to diminish a single death, but because you deserve the truth, not every one of these was something that a checkpoint or a traffic law could have prevented. A heart attack behind the wheel is not an enforcement failure by the police. A police analysis of the first 2 quarters gives us the pattern behind the individual cases, and it's a clear one. The accidents without injury are almost always due to inattention or distraction by the drivers. And the accidents that kill are almost all a matter of reckless driving. And that is the target.
The Court of First Instance has sentenced DMP to 12 years imprisonment for the manslaughter of HGDJ and the illegal possession of a firearm. The conviction relates to the fatal shooting of HGDJ at his residence on Zozo Moran Drive in Cole Bay on January 22, 2022. The court found DMP guilty of intentionally causing the victim's death and of illegally possessing a firearm. It imposed a prison sentence of 12 years, in accordance with the sentence requested by the prosecutor's office. The time the defendant has spent in pre-trial detention will be deducted from the sentence. The fatal shooting occurred when HGDJ was found deceased inside his residence with multiple gunshot wounds. The investigation remained active over the following years, resulting in the arrest of DMP in December 2025 upon his arrival at Princess Juliana International Airport. During the investigation, detectives relied on surveillance footage, forensic evidence, and other investigative techniques to identify the defendant and establish his involvement in the shooting. The court also ruled on the claims submitted by the injured parties. Material damages of US $12,530.29 were awarded to DJN, US $4,800 to HGDJ, and US $19,200 to IGC. The claims for affection damages were declared inadmissible. The prosecutor's office recognizes the dedication and perseverance of the detectives of the police force of Sint Maarten, KPSM, and all investigative partners whose work over several years led to this conviction. This case demonstrates that serious crimes remain a priority and that investigations will continue for as long as necessary to identify those responsible and bring them before the court.
Your social and health insurance is SxV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SxV is cardless. Request your My SxV account today and enter the virtual office of SxV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SxV, yeah, your social health insurances.
You may ask yourself, why a sea turtle and not a lion or a wolf or a shark or an eagle? But it's because they are often underestimated and overlooked. When a female turtle is ready to give birth, she usually goes at night on the shore, digs a hole, and lays her eggs. She then leaves, and there's no father to supervise those eggs. They are left to themselves to find their way into the sea after hatching. There's no one to hold their hands, no crossing guard to stop traffic, or signs to warn people that their eggs lay near. They are born into a world of danger, risk, and threats. Once they leave the nest, they turn into prey. But in them lie a natural ability to make it no matter what, the same ability that you possess. Birds, crabs, or fish threaten them. Even artificial lights from buildings or the road throw them off their journey. As a result of these dangers, not all of them make it to sea. However, there are advantages that they possess, advantages that you possess. Since most sea turtles hatch at night, they instinctively follow the reflection of the moon or stars on the water. Let this be a reminder to trust the training, discipline, guidance you receive in brigade. Anything or anyone who has your best interests at heart will lead you to better conditions in life. Because unnatural lights exist and can often fool the turtles, leading them in the wrong direction. Likewise, the wrong friends and the wrong company can do the same. They also use their senses to follow the downward slope of the beach to go into the sea. Often, we underestimate our ability to find solutions with the skills we already possess. Another advantage is the water they swim into. The waves are powerful and crash on the shores, but to them, it serves as a guide of where to go. The same senses they use to go down the slope is the same senses that continue to be sharpened when they realize that in order to make it, they must swim against the current. The waves crashing can be scary. The environments we live in or challenges we face at school, at work, or in society can be intimidating. But what the turtles realize is that the force which can push them back into the comfort of their nest is the same force that they can use to go to a better place. Don't be afraid of challenges. Swim against the current. Once those little turtles get into the water, they paddle and paddle for hours, even days, until they get further ahead. They use that force and become stronger and stronger as they swim against it. So as you continue along with Brigade and other endeavors in your life, don't let the hard things make you quit. You standing here is a testament of that. Let it be a reminder that better things are ahead and you need to swim further, even if you don't see the end yet in sight. The turtles learned this lesson immediately. The same waves that can push them ashore is the same wave they can use to go further. As I mentioned, the hatchlings are often underestimated. One of their best advantages is that they hatch together. The same way each and every single one of you will be going up in rank together.
I will uphold the bylaws and policies. I will conduct myself appropriately in and out of the brigade. I am dedicated to the betterment of myself, my peers, and our community. In taking this oath, I willingly accept the responsibilities and privileges that come with being a member of the St. Martin Youth Brigade. Second class, Richardson Arundel. Second class, Rogers Bardwell. Second class, Rose. Cass Norton.
Present, sir.
Now for the weather forecast. Tonight, cloudy and breezy with isolated showers. Thursday, partly cloudy, breezy, and hazy with brief showers possible. Surface winds, tonight through Thursday evening. Easterly with a moderate to fresh breeze at 13 to 20 mph and occasional higher gusts. State of the sea, slight to moderate waves, swells, 4 to 7 feet. Outlook through Friday evening. Partly cloudy, breezy, and hazy with brief showers possible. And now your 3-day forecast.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurances.
Are you SxXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SxXM is cardless. Request your My SxXM account today and enter the virtual office of SxXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
On Thursday, July 9th, the Calypso King of the World, Slinger Francisco, known to the world as the Mighty Sparrow, celebrates his 91st birthday. Slinger Francisco, who was born in Grenada on July 9th, 1935, was raised in Trinidad and now resides in the USA, is best known for his calypso career, which spans over 60 years. The Mighty Sparrow has performed in St. Martin on many occasions. His last performance here was in 2014 in a concert held under the tent at Port de Plaisance. Although Sparrow is no longer an active performing artist, his music continues to satisfy the appetite of calypso lovers around the world. Despite being best known in the field of calypso, the Mighty Sparrow has graced his fans with numerous gospel albums and ballads, the most popular being Only a Fool Breaks His Own Heart, which he recorded with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires in the 1960s. The Mighty Sparrow is undoubtedly the most popular and well-known calypsonian worldwide. In his early years of performing, he revolutionized the calypso art form. During his career as a performing artist, he has graced the stages with his performances throughout the Caribbean, South America, the USA, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Japan. Taking the Mighty Sparrow's love for the people of St. Martin into consideration, a special tribute will be paid in his honor on Thursday, July 9th, on SOS Radio 95.9 FM from 12 to noon to 5:00 p.m., hosted by Fernando Clark. The tribute, which includes a live interview with the Mighty Sparrow and some of his greatest hits in all genres, gospel, ballads, and calypso, will delight the airwaves for 5 hours. We wish the Mighty Sparrow many more years of good life. This is our SxXM Daily Newscast. Thank you for joining us.